Hi everyone, Melissa here and welcome back to another video. I look crazy because I'm working from home, so I literally just like put my hair in some pigtails because I was working from home, and this is what I look like. I feel like a bug. Okay, anyway, today we're going to be doing a reaction to the GIRLSET addresses controversy, cat side comparisons, and rebrand in conversation. Literally as soon as it loads, it's already started. So
like grinding as much as we're doing now, so it's kind of just getting back in the feeling and the vibe. It's very different now. It's kind of just getting into this vibe again, but I mean, we love it.
Yeah.
You guys have gone through a lot of change in 2 years than most groups see in 5.
But,
okay. And there's a lot to be said, you know, and like, frankly, how did you guys feel whenever headlines hit about a lot of controversy? Maybe KG's lawsuit, Kaylee's held hiatus. How did that hit you guys personally, and did it affect your confidence at all?
I think it definitely hit hard at some points. Some things were unexpected, some others were not recent news to us. And I feel like we had a lot of deep intertwined feelings about everything because obviously of our journey where we came from, our relationships with people, with the past members, everything. But I
try to see that as like our way of,
that's what we're saying,
like sharing our story. This is what we feel about the situation. You know, this is like our story. So I really hope that people listen to those songs and the lyrics and try to really see our side and how we feel about it. Because, you know, I think...
Okay, that's... Okay. So, in terms of, like, this situation, I think it's fair for them to say kind of, like, this is more of a PR statement, I think, right? You don't want to outright say certain things about your feelings just because they are getting back, and I think that even this response has garnered so much vitriol on the internet with people saying this is an insensitive response. I don't think this response is necessarily insensitive, but I think they have to be careful with their words because anything you say can obviously be blown back into your face or blown out of proportion. And I think that this is them just saying they're not undermining their other past member stories, but they also have their own stories and their own perspectives. And if we're able to listen to KG's perspective and Kaylee's perspective, if she ever wanted to come out with that, then we should be able to listen to their perspective. But I also understand people being like, well, they're still under the company, so their voices will never be their voices, even though the members have said that they have more control now. I can understand like that lack of trust, but I do think that maybe because I heard that there was like this talk of maybe 2 other songs being released and like it's not released yet, so maybe it's a surprise, who knows, but maybe something along the lines of they do have stories that they're writing and they haven't released it yet, and if people are patient, maybe we would get to hear their side, because it sounds like they do have a side. But as they are still under the agency, they do have to tread more carefully than people who are not in the agency. And I said this on the Patreon only reaction, where I do think people are very quick to say, oh, the girls are in the wrong, or the company's in the wrong, or suddenly people are like, oh, don't believe KG's money hungry. Like, I just feel like people are so quick to judge that they don't even want to listen to different perspectives after they've preconceived like their perspective. They're like, I think this is the situation and nothing anyone says will sway my mind. But I'm very interested to hear their perspectives because I've heard Savannah's sister's perspective, I've heard KG's perspective, I've heard the company's lack of perspective, right? But I want to hear like the members that are still under there, because I think that's a very important side that people are just ignoring because they're under the company still. And everyone has their own reasons, but sometimes you don't want to give up your dreams. Look at like Disney and Nickelodeon, like so many people who never gave up on their dreams, even with like very terrible outcomes or terrible experiences that they endured behind the scenes, just because they wanted to continue to make that content and develop their like future careers. So I have a lot of thoughts on this, but that's my roundabout sentence.
Yeah.
Well, will both sides of the story be told eventually, either through music or otherwise?
Music, for sure. Yeah.
Was there a point in time where you guys thought that maybe things wouldn't continue?
I mean, I think there could be certain moments we were like...
I don't think these 2 songs have anything to do with that. I think they wanted to establish their sound. These people are acting like their new song is immediately going to be a response, but I think they're trying to establish who they are first before they start releasing those stories.
For us to finally be out there and like share who we are and truly be GIRLSET.
Did you feel supported? You know, what was the vibe, I guess, kind of going through a lot of these tougher times?
I mean, there was definitely a lot of change, not only like internal, external, like kind of everything went through change. And we definitely had a lot of communication as we became a lot more involved in the creative process.
Yeah, so kind of like that, they have more freedom and capabilities to speak out, and people acting like these two songs are them being insensitive and not responding. I think they're just not responding yet.
Auditioned. What were you chasing? Was it validation? Was it community? Was it trying to prove something to yourselves? What was that?
You know, to be honest,
I don't think
I
it's
think for me, definitely, I always wanted to be a singer. Back then, like I really liked
Oh my
K-pop,
god, they were babies.
and I always imagined like, oh my god, being in a girl group would be so iconic. Because also I really liked pop groups as well, but it was like kind of a far dream because it seemed like it was not possible back then. So when I got that open, you just have people that
like support you. Yeah.
For sure. I mean, what was it about the K-pop industry? I mean, why K-pop coming from Western cities?
I think just the performance aspect of it all is just so like, they just put a huge focus on it, and I like how they capture, you know, with the dance and singing and like everything together.
It's always so like eye-catching.
Into it, but like I was really curious about it too, and I just wanted to go through it and experience what that was like. And I feel like, yes, it is hard, but at the same time, if you put hard work and you're really like focused, seeing the improvement every month or like even every week is like the most rewarding feeling ever. Because like, wow, I'm putting a lot of hard work, but it's paying off.
Yes, it's hard, but it's also we do it because we love it.
Okay, this other sentence, I'm really just like, because I've seen clips, so seeing it in full context is also really nice. So I think this also makes a lot of sense, what they're saying, because I do think that releasing music in the Western industry versus the Korean industry can be somewhat different. I do feel as though while K-pop has a very intense training side, and I feel like that's kind of isolating to people training, because obviously there's people training right now that we may never see. Like, we may never see them debut. We may never see them release music or anything like that. And I think those are, like, sometimes the epitome of what the K-pop industry is about, which is very sad when you think about members like Jihyo from Twice, who was literally training since she was a child. And she finally debuted in Twice after, like, 9 years or something like that. And to me, that's insane, right? And so sometimes I think that in the US, we personally are offended by certain critiques that maybe in other countries, they're like, no, if I keep doing this, I will reach that goal. And I think we just have very different industries. Obviously, both industries, very toxic and very, very bad, and both sides of it are bad, I think, to some regard. But I do think that this sentence doesn't make me go, oh, they're shading KG or Kaylee or anything like that, because some people are interpreting this as like an insulting sentence to those members, but I think that's just a testament to what the industry is. All of the people in groups that you currently like, that I currently like, all probably have gone through this, and to some regards say like, because I worked so hard and I didn't give up, I'm able to live that dream. And maybe some of their friends who aren't trainees anymore, they're not saying their friends are weak or people who give up on things, but I think people want to interpret things certain ways to just like, again, emphasize a perspective, right? You could say like what I'm saying it to emphasize my perspective, and I'm taking it in a positive light. But I honestly just believe in giving people the benefit of the doubt, and none of the things they've said feel targeted. It more so feels like this is a PR statement, because again, they are still under this company and they still do want to live out their dreams. And I do understand that sometimes you do make not sacrifices, but you kind of make exceptions within yourself of what you think is okay to live out those dreams that you have. And I don't see anything wrong with that, as long as you personally feel as though you are not harmed to a limit where you cannot come back from. Whereas I feel that for like Kaylee and KG, I think that they had very strong reasons for leaving and very strong limits, and I don't think that's anything wrong with that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with the members that did stay if they feel like they did not endure those same things. And I'm not agreeing with kind of this idea of like having people on diets that are super crazy, like how they had Momo like on this Ice Cube diet or things like that a few years ago, right? That's insane. But I'm also understanding that sometimes people will just really want their dream, and it's really sad to see what you do for your dream, but I can't judge you for having a dream and wanting to pursue it if you have people around you, like your friends and hopefully their families, to kind of see, oh, this is a point where this is just not acceptable. Like, we have to intervene and work together and kind of protect you from it. And it's so hard. Like, this is so nuanced. It's so hard because I feel like anything they say can be perceived in any certain way. Anything I say could be perceived in a certain way. And that's why, like, it's so difficult. It's so difficult. But okay.
Debuting as JYP's first North American project, too. That must have felt historic at the time. When you look back, is it kind of heavy or is it more
honestly, this is like,
I think it's
maybe a little less than
so.
your training period, guys.
It's just like, it's surreal, and just to be able to like represent, you know, our backgrounds and our cultures, it's really inspiring. And I think that's what I got from that most. Like, very
like great first
experience.
experience.
I feel like it's like a learning experience. I feel like we started there, and I feel like we needed that to like get to where we are now. I do appreciate those moments and kind of like seeing myself and us like in the past, and how much we've grown and how much we've kind of like found ourselves and like our sound and like who we want to be. And
that's a fair sentiment. Yeah, for sure. Especially, again, most of them are like 15, 16, 17.
So there's this
13.
massive talk right now about multicultural girl groups. As we know, of course, GIRLSET is a part of that. Cat's Eye is a part of that conversation as well. How do you guys feel about being included in that conversation?
I mean, I always say this, but I do think it's like one of the most important things about being in a global girl group. I think the essence and the point of this group was to bring girls with different backgrounds and cultures together to create something special.
That was the point of the show, yeah.
And maybe I could also make it and be in a girl group one day. So I know that there are girls, boys, you know, seeing us and like seeing themselves in us. So that's like really, really important. Really
Aww,
yeah,
that's so
being
cute.
able to see ourselves bring different communities together too is such a great feeling, and just bringing everyone together and just all loving the same thing is just the best feeling ever.
And some people, unfortunately, online have labeled, you know, GIRLSET as JYP's answer to Hive's Cat's Eye. If you've seen those kind of conversations
very
online,
different
how do you guys
concepts,
respond to them?
but
it shouldn't be about that. It's amazing, and they're super sweet. So I think it's more about appreciating both, you know, because I think we're both special in our own ways. So yeah, I think it's more about that. Like, let's just be girls, like
doing our own thing.
Yeah, let's lay together.
Yeah.
okay, yeah. To this, also, I think they're very different concepts. I don't think that they are similar, aside from the fact that they are groups made from different cultures, right? And people take that and they're like, they want to be them. It's the same thing with like Baby Monster and the Blackpink drama, with people being like, they want to be Blackpink. Every group, people are like, they want to be Blackpink. There is some instance where you just have to look at it and be like, there are thousands, if not hundreds, of groups in an industry, and I think that people have forgotten that we can all have similar dreams. And like, the amount of people that compare girl groups, most predominantly girl groups, I want to say, is insane, because we have Frequency, we have Flow, and we have Say Now, we have, oh my god, Siren Society, like GIRLSET, Cat's Eye. We have so many groups that are currently out that are comprised of people from different backgrounds, and they all make music. And people somehow have this idea that we just must compare them because they are women, they are men in the same industry from opposing companies. Therefore, we have to say this is because of this. But two things can happen at the same time. One, Hybe was training members to become part of a group for 2 years. JYP was training members to become part of a group for about a year, I think. Both of which released shows. Very common in K-pop. If you don't listen to K-pop that much, very common. It's a very common occurrence. Treasure Box, I-Island, Produce 101, like Mix 9. You guys remember Mix 9? So many shows have this concept predominantly in Asia. This isn't a new thing, but people are like, but they have a similar concept. The similar concept being international non-Korean members. That's really that. And I think that we just need to acknowledge they don't make the same type of music. Okay? They just both are signed under Korean agencies, technically Korean and American agencies because they're in the US, but they're both signed under Korean agencies, and they happen to be multicultural groups. Multicultural groups, not a new thing in the industry. Again, there are groups that have done this before. And it's weird. It's weird to just be like Flopsy or like, what do they call the GIRLSET flop? I forget. I've been, you know what I mean? You come up with names, you hate on people because, oh my gosh, I have to hate on you because I have favorites and they're in a different company, so I have to hate you. And it's weird. You can like both. You can like neither. You could like one and dislike the other. That's fine. But going into people's comments and being like, oh my gosh, like, you are so much better than GIRLSET. Oh my gosh, you are so much better than Cat's Eye is weird. You don't have to bring up the other group. You could just say, oh my gosh, you slayed. Oh my gosh, this was amazing. Oh my gosh, my favorite. Period. Why are we doing this back and forth? It's very, have nuance, have depth in yourself. Like, I don't know, like, it's weird. It's weird. Okay, sorry. I don't know. I have this opinion all the time because, like, ever since I started listening to K-pop, even before I listened to K-pop, this is probably a thing. It's weird, and that's where I'll stop.
You guys are, all of you guys who are multicultural, global girl groups being a part of that conversation, how do you hope that GIRLSET's, part in that history, how do you hope it's looked on by fans?
We always want to be, a group that speaks about real things. We always made it a point to just be raw and realistic and just people with emotions, you know? So I think that's something that we want us to be remembered by.
That sentence makes me think a lot of kind of frequency. If you watch Building the Band, it's a show on Netflix about building a band, and like their thing, I feel like, is also, as many groups who come from competition show, they want to leave a message, they want to leave this sort of legacy, right? But to get into the mainstream, you do have to release surface level music to some regard. And I do feel like I like frequency, I really do. I listen to Top Down too much. You have to release a banger, basically surface level song, and then you kind of help build that audience further with having B-sides and really building depth within those B-sides, right? When you think about many songs, that's kind of how it goes. Like if you listen to Sabrina Carpenter, if you listen to Tate McRae, if you listen to Stray Kids, any group you listen to, there has at some point been a surface level song that brings in an outside audience, and then once you have that trust, you can start releasing those more experimental or raw kinds of songs to really cultivate that relationship. And I think this is just an example of that with Little Miss and Commas. Those are very surface level-y type of songs, but they are doing what it needs to do in terms of building that base, creating intrigue, and then when they start releasing their B-sides that speak more to who they are, that's kind of when you can leave that legacy in that depth. Because to some regard, I can say a lot of songs I've heard this year are surface level songs, but I listen to them all the time. And not every song needs a message. It doesn't. But we just feel like it does because you need a good story behind that. Look at Clinton Kane and him pretending that like his mom is unalived and his brother is unalived and they're not, to write music. You know, like, you don't always need that to write a good song. If it's a good song, it's a good song.
We take a lot of inspiration from like Ariana Grande as well as like Pussycat Dolls, Flow. Yeah. So I feel like musically,
Flow,
like we're not sonically close to K-pop at all.
Flow had me in a chokehold in
but
2024.
we do take inspiration
I must
in
say.
like the performance aspects, like dance. So in those we do, but sonically in terms of songwriting, no. We're definitely going our own way, trying to be very experimental as well.
We're beautiful girls.
Yes, beautiful girls doing what they love.
Yeah.
And hopefully that inspires other people to do the same.
Aww.
Is there any last thing you want your fans
They're
to
so
know?
sweet.
I mean, please look forward to what we have to come because it's very good.
I had, I think, pretty big opinions today. Trust me, I've had these opinions for a while. I just tend to stay out of internet drama. I like peace in my life, and I like not fighting with people on the internet. I like my peace. I really like my peace, you guys. And this is why I'm not an influencer, because sometimes you just need peace in your life. Anyway, that's the end of the video. You guys can probably see a few more videos coming up soon for me, which I'll spoil some. I finished watching K-pop. It took me over a month to watch, and mind you, those are 30-minute episodes, but they're so boring. So I have a video that I'm currently writing out what I want to say, bullet points, because I can't follow a script ever. Kind of ideas, suggestions, what I liked, what I didn't like, which is a lot. So yes, I will be doing a dissecting of K-pop and my thoughts of it, because it took forever to watch because I was so bored. And really struggled with the lack of structure of it. And then I also wanted to do a summary video of Singles Inferno, just because no one, like, people voted for it, and I love talking about reality shows, and I really annoy my fiance because I do it to him all the time. So maybe it's time to do it to you. Anyway, if you like today's video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Other than that, I will see you all in the next one. Bye.